Hey, on today's Living in Las Vegas, you know, there's a small group of folks here who've been really influential on what Las Vegas has turned into. So on today's show, we're going to talk about the folks who've had the largest financial impact on Las Vegas, kind of like a Las Vegas Hall of Fame. Plus, real quick stories, which never are, listener email, live chat questions, and of course, have a drink on me. This is a Living in Las Vegas podcast where Brett and I are working tirelessly to get on our own list. Let's get started. Living in Las Vegas starts now. Maybe hard to say.
So far, so good.
The over-under on that's pretty fucked up.
Oops.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome from Las Vegas, Nevada. That groovy little podcast that gives you a true first-person look into what it's like to call Sin City your home. The Living in Las Vegas podcast. And now your host.
Yes.
A man who clearly needs some kind of introduction, otherwise you wouldn't know who he was.
Shoot me, I'm
Mr. Scott Whitney.
I think it's intervention, not introduction.
First, I want you to notice how calm I am.
Intervention, not introduction.
I've got a $20,000 piece of equipment that's not working. So imagine my joy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Living in Las Vegas podcast here on the Vegas Video Network. I am your host, Scott Whitney. Konnichiwa. Buenas noches. Go fuck yourself, TriCaster. Great to be with you. Fortunately, I'm not alone in my pain and my anguish and my sadness. No, I'm joined by, we know him as RQS, Drinky Pants. It's Brett Grant, everybody.
I want to see, never let them see you sweat, Scotty. You're doing a fine job of handling grace under pressure.
Thank you.
About 15 F-bombs, a couple of pile drivers to the TriCaster, and life is good.
No excuse. This should be a fascinating show because much of what I want to work and that I'm saying maybe not.
We're through the hard part, right? We got
No.
No? All right.
There's lots of hard parts coming.
All right, that's
and
good.
this damn thing doesn't work. So it's pretty good. Hey, yeah. So if anybody wants to buy a used TriCaster, I got a 460. It works half the time. I mean, I think that's
this is our 9th or 10th show, so it works about 90% of the time.
That's what he wants, right? Come on. If you were something that didn't cost as much, you'd probably be okay with that.
Right.
If you paid this much for this, you'd probably want to shoot yourself in the head.
Yeah.
And
you're killing me, Smalls.
If by Smalls you mean New Tech, the company that makes TriCasters. So I'm not real happy. Okay, hey, over and under 91 and a hook.
91 and a hook. All right.
What do you think?
That's actually legit.
I think it's pretty good.
That's not too bad.
And it took us about 90 just to start the show.
It did.
So we've got a 1 minute show to go. All right. First topic here on our real quick stories. Periscope is running. They've got to watch me go, what the hell is going on here? No wonder they're professional. No wonder they get paid for that. I'm going to do, we're going to do a news segment here. It's called Living in Las Vegas Theater.
Ooh.
And the way this, remember back when radio was radio?
Yes.
And you got to listen to it. You would look at the radio and they would tell you stories. I'm going to give you the story of your buddy Scott. Your buddy Scott was looking at his bank account. See, I do my bills on the 1st and the 15th of every month. And so I was doing my bills on the 15th, which was yesterday. And I'm looking around and I'm seeing that I'm getting this $16 maintenance fee charge on my Timberworks Music business account. I have 2 accounts. I have like a checking account and a savings account. So I saw this. I've been getting this for the last 3 or 4 months. I'm like, oh, screw this. So I took all the money out of one of those accounts thinking, well, you can't charge me $16 if there's no money in there. Well, yesterday I look at the account, and of course, there's a $16, so I have a $16 deficit in this one account. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to close the account. There's no need for that to be open. So I go to the Contact Us page on Bank of America, and it says, would you like to live chat?
You love live chat.
I love live chat. Hell, I'm Mr. Live Chat.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're damn right I do. So we open our show to the green, thank you for choosing Bank of America. Adriana Gibson is ready to assist you. For security purposes, please remember to close your chat window when complete.
Hello. To assist you with your business checking or savings account, may I please have your complete name, your business name. I identify myself as a man, even though I might be a woman.
I want you to be
and the last 4 digits of your account number.
Can you talk like this?
I could.
Okay,
you really want to do that?
You should do that, yeah.
All right.
Start again.
Hello. To assist you with your business checking or savings account, I'm Julia Childs. First, you put the chicken in the oven. Sorry. May I please have your complete name, business name, and the last 4 digits of your account number?
Scott Whitney, Timberworks Music 1207. I'm getting charged a service charge on an account, so I want to close it.
Thank you for your information, Scott. Welcome to the chat session.
Stop. Shouldn't they should that in the very beginning? I'm just saying. Yeah, we're in the chat. Now we're 2 in, and she's asking. Okay, continue.
I understand that your question is pertaining to a charge on your account. Could you please confirm the amount and date of the fee assessed?
Sure. $16 on 6/1 and 5/1, 4/1, 3/2, and 2/2. ...
Thank you for your confirmation. I see that you are referring monthly maintenance fee. I apologize. This is a standard fee for all customers if your account does not meet the monthly requirements.
Close it, please.
I apologize. We will not be able to do that. You will have to meet the monthly requirements to avoid the fee. Shall I help you with that? Here's where irritation sets in.
Can you close the account or not?
I regret to hear that you want to close the account. You are an important customer to us, and we would like the opportunity to retain your relationship with, am I mentioning the bank?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Fuck them.
With Bank of fucking America. May I know the reason for your account closure?
So, all right. You're kidding me, right? I just told you. Maintenance fee. Account number, blah, 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 1207. I want it closed.
I apologize for the inconvenience. Please bring your balance to $0. Then we will be able to close it.
Really? Tell you what. If you close it, I'll keep the other account open, which has over 4 figures of money in it. If I have to bring that one balance to 0, I'm going to head to the nearest B of A and I'm going to close both accounts. Now, the other account that I'm talking of ends in 1204. 204 has greater than 4 figures of money in there.
Yes, I do understand that. Please transfer the money to another account so we can proceed with account closure.
So, Bank of America is okay with losing an account with over 4 figures of money because they want $16.
I apologize for the inconvenience caused.
Is that a yes?
That is our standard fee for all.
Well, hello?
Shall I help you with your monthly requirements to avoid the fee?
I'd like you to answer the question. Big pause. Hello?
Okay, now I'm going to go Indian on you. Okay. I apologize for the inconvenience caused to you by this regard. Would you like a Slurpee? The monthly maintenance fee will not be waived. You must maintain the balance on the account to avoid the fee. Last text message received. As of now, we do not offer any free checking account.
I'm closing the account and sharing this nonsense with my friends, my family, and my audience. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, living in Las Vegas players. These idiots
that's funny.
wanted $16 instead of saving over, well, mid 4 fingers.
I once had a bank in town that made an error of 4 figures in my favor. And what did I do? I went and closed the account, took the money, went to confession, and opened a new account somewhere else. So thank you very much.
It's unbelievable, man. It pisses me off like I can't even tell you how much it pisses me off. Yeah. I just don't get it. I mean, so I tweeted this. I tweeted the Bank of America help. I said, hey, as best as you can in 140 characters, I said, this is what's going on. And of course, they're like, oh, no, we want to help. I'm like, geez, you should empower your customer service people to actually be able to do those kind of things. We really would like to help. We think you're an important customer. Well, for one thing, you don't know me. And for the second thing is, it's too late. I'm closing this account. Well, you sure oh man, you are on my last nerve as well. Okay, so bye-bye Bank of America. I've had that account for about 15 years. I'm closing it tomorrow.
Well, we do our business accounting at our banking at B of A, but I do all my personal banking elsewhere. Just because I don't like B of A at all. And they drive me crazy with the location I have to go into. They went from having a business line to having no line to having a line in Spanish and not for business people, but line for people who speak English are now waiting in line longer because there's somebody in Spanish. And I'm like, you guys are doing everything the opposite way. The people that are here every day making deposits, the business people that are keeping this branch flowing, you're making it harder for us to bank here.
Yep.
And you're letting this person who doesn't understand English, who's trying to basically get a money order to pay a bill, you're giving them preferential treatment over the people who are here every day. Now, they need service. I understand that. But you got rid of a business line to now have an English line or a non-English speaking line. That drives me nuts.
So what do you think when I go into Bank of America tomorrow? What are they going to say to me? I guarantee I know what they're going to say to me.
Are you Scott Whitney?
Yeah, they're going to say, wait a minute, I think we have a poster of you.
Yeah, exactly.
They're going to say, hey, no, we're all sorry. We'll give you your $16. Nope.
Yeah.
Now, if you want me to keep my account, you see those $16 for the last 12 months?
Exactly.
I want it all back.
Right.
I want every $16 you've ever taken me for the last year, and then maybe I'll consider this. Okay, so this whole have a drink on me thing.
I've heard about it.
I think some people think it's complete a lie. That I'm saying, yeah, I'll buy you a drink.
All right.
But I don't show up. And to that I say, lies! I have proof.
That's Johnny.
That I have actually been somewhere. And this is my new friend, John, who works at, I probably shouldn't tell you where he works, but he works in broadcasting. No, he works in New York City. He works for one of the major broadcasting networks.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Can he get us a job? Does he like us? Does he think we're talented?
He likes us.
All right.
He thinks I'm talented.
What about me?
Sorry,
Stop. It's a we thing.
I didn't hear the question. I'm still a little shook up by the fact that I can't push buttons and does what I want to do. He loves the show. He might actually end up being in here today. I'm not sure. Loves the show. He's a broadcaster, like I said, or he works for a large, one of the top 3 broadcast companies in New York. Works for one of the top morning shows in New York.
Wow.
And we had a nice talk. By the way, he had the Sinatra Smash, which was recommended at Periscope Down, as did I. And my recommendation is, if you have no balls, you should order that drink. But in fact, if you actually have gonads, I'd go with the jalapeno.
You like the jalapenos.
Yeah, you got to go jalapeno, maybe. Okay. We wanted to talk. Brett wanted to talk. We kind of wanted to talk about this broad... Rachel Dolezal.
I'd say Dolezal.
Or Dolezal. I'm not really sure how you say her name. This is the gal.
She's the white girl, black girl, white girl, works for the NAACP girl.
Right.
Now who resigned girl.
Somehow she got outed. And Brett, your thoughts on this. I'm going to give you my thoughts on this, and I'm going to give you some fascinating insights.
Well, today I'm wearing my Cardinals shirt from Jamaica because I'm now officially, since we no longer have identifications, meaning gender identifications or race identifications, I am now Jamaican. I was born in St. Louis, also a suburb of Jamaica, just outside of Ocho Rios.
I remember.
I'm Jamaican. And you can be whatever you want to be as well. Personally, I think this lady's a little delusional.
Yep.
I think she probably has some kind of psychosis, like she's a pathological liar.
Without question.
So here's my thing. Can you lie, fake a race, steal a full scholarship, report false hate crimes, sue a black university for not hiring you because you're white, and spray tan like nobody else's business? Then if you can do those things, then you too can join the National Association for the Advancement of Corrupt People. I said corrupt people. Yep. The fact that people are defending this woman is unbelievable to me.
Who's defending her?
A lot of people are. They're saying, "Oh, she identifies herself being this way." She's on the Today Show. Was she on the Today Show? She was on the Today Show today.
Oh, was she really?
And her answers are just ridiculous. Yeah. What's her name? I don't remember anymore. What the hell's her first name?
Rachel.
Rachel. Are you African American? Well, I don't understand the question. What are you talking about? You're the most lily white, freckle-faced, redhead girl I've ever seen in my life. If there was a picture of a wasp, that would be her, right? That was her.
Yeah. So
come on.
So I actually believe that she definitely has a mental issue. There is no question. As a result, I'm not going to spend a lot of time bashing her. And the other thing is this. Although, I mean, she's clearly an easy target, and all the Twitter memes and stuff, there's a lot of pretty funny things out there.
Yeah, there are.
But clearly, there's something not quite right about that girl. But I wanted to reach out to somebody who would have a more informed concept about this. And Kendall, who's in the live chat, she's black, has been a viewer and listener of our show for probably 10 or so years. She'd like me to adopt her, and we're working on that. So I asked her, hey, what's your opinion on what's going on here? Because Kendall is on her Facebook page has had some pretty strong opinions about the different racial things that have been going on. And so I asked her what was going on. And I think she had some really insightful stuff. Here's what Kendall said. Well, I'm sure you know that I can be very opinionated, but since you asked, I don't mind sharing my personal opinion. And by the way, I did ask her if I could read this on the air, so she didn't go, It's disgusting and hilarious at the same time. Although I think the hilarity is a coping mechanism used to cover the underlying anger. I'm mad at Rachel because she infiltrated safe space for black women. Learning about black history, what isn't taught in school, is emotionally draining. Maybe more so for me because I went to private schools and I didn't have many black friends as a kid, and my parents, who are very socially aware, made the decision to me to come with them and come to them with questions when I was ready. As I'm learning about black American history, there are people, leaders, and professors who I know that I can trust and who really understand what I'm going through. If I found out that one of them was white, pretending to be black, I'd be appalled. A person doesn't have to be black, to work on social issues or teach African studies. The problem is that she's coming from and this is huge, quote, "I understand your struggle, my sister," side, and it makes me sick because she simply doesn't understand. She's never been told that she can't play a game because she's an N-word. She's never seen a police officer beat up her white boyfriend for walking down the street with a queen N-word. When she gets pulled over, she doesn't say a quick prayer hoping that the officer isn't a bad apple. She isn't afraid to reach for her license in her purse to hand it to the officer slowly and carefully so he doesn't think that she's pulling something out of your purse. Everything that she has done in her life, she could have done being herself. She could have gotten into Howard University. Black colleges exist because black students couldn't get into white college. They accept all students based upon grades and not race. She could have joined and worked at the NAACP. If Rachel really cared about the black community, she would have known, especially as a professor of African American studies, how inappropriate it is as a white woman to speak for black people. She would have stayed in her whiteness and done the hard and necessary work that white allies to do. She would have used her privilege to make changes in the white community. She would have worked to dismantle the system of privilege that apparently has made whiteness so unattractive to her. Drop mic. I thought that was a great response.
No, I think it is. And she's not original, though. That's the problem. I mean,
Which one?
Steve, not her. I mean, the Rachel. I think she has some very good points.
Yeah.
And Steve Martin in The Jerk, I was born a poor black child.
Right.
Okay. I mean, come on. The biggest thing to me about this is that she's a liar. So nothing else that matters to me other than the fact, all the things that she's saying, not Kendall.
Right.
All the things that this Rachel's talking about is because she's a pathological liar.
She is, and I think that's sad and not fun to watch. And I think I expect something's going to happen to her bad. Something's going to go wrong on her. She's going to go sideways here pretty soon, which is too bad. Okay, I just wanted to put that out there because it was interesting, and I had access to somebody who I thought could give me an informed opinion. Hey, we're starting at a new time at 7 p.m. God, it's nice. It's still light out. People are happy. The birds are chirping. I've gotten all kinds of positive feedback of the new time, and you know what?
Tomahawk said no.
Oh, no, Tomahawk didn't say no. Brett said no.
It's too fucking hot outside. No.
So
we can't handle it. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're asking people, do you want to do it? Brett is like the uncle who says, I'd like to be able to buy you a present. I just don't have any money. Wait a minute. You can't tell me you want to buy me something and then tell me you're poor. That's not what exactly.
I'm Jamaican, man.
So what happened was the reason why we were going to 7 was because Brett had a change in his schedule.
My schedule.
And that change, which was not a positive change, except for everybody who watches the show, ended up being positive.
Molly doesn't like me. She wants to replace me. So, but that's
not going to happen.
Okay, I appreciate that. But what happened was on Tuesday nights, I've had a radio show that we do, a national radio show from 5 to 7. And then we come over here and give me some travel time. We start at 8. I usually get here about 7:30 or so. Yep. So we technically could start around 7:30 or as soon as I get here.
We have to go through the stuff.
That's true.
We have to go through the outline.
Okay. So I thought that the show was going to be able to be moved because of the fact that a lot of it we're going to a new network and it's going to actually air on the weekends, and we thought we'd be able to do it anytime we want to. But it sounds like from a travel aspect from one of the other cats I do the show with.
Cats.
Tuesday's the day that he works well for him and avoids his travel issues during basketball season.
Is that guy any good? Throw him out.
Yeah, no, he's good.
You're the guy who's the main host.
I know.
Screw those people.
I apologize,
the guy who talks
folks.
about high school basketball? That guy?
That's Van. No, Van's free anytime. The other guy.
Ah, you can get it. Those guys are
they're dime and dust.
They're everywhere. I see him everywhere.
I see 6'9" tall black guys everywhere
all the time. See him all the time.
I thought all the tall, talented guys were on the court. That was one of the greatest lines ever from the Love Connection.
So, anyways, although we would love to do what you people want us to do, we simply are not willing to do so. Not because your good friend Scott, doesn't want to, but because the evil Brett feels that it's not the right thing to do.
No, I can't be in two places at once. I have not been able to teleport myself from one place to the next.
I am, of course,
simultaneously.
Just kidding. It's okay. So this is our 7 o'clock show. I just kind of want to be in it for a moment.
Thank you, Sammy. Sammy says we'll be here either way.
It's good, and that's the awesome thing about our live chat. So we're going to be back
Cheers
to our
Sammy.
Regular 8 o'clock time beginning next week, and they're on. We might go to a 7 o'clock. You were saying maybe at some time down the path, but.
We just won't. I didn't want. I apologize for prematurely thinking it was going to happen.
We had a premature chime change. Sometimes it happens. Yeah, what are you going to do?
In high school, you just kind of go, "Oops,
sorry, was that me?
Sorry." Don't worry, the reboot time is next to nothing.
This normally doesn't happen to me. Yeah.
You're killing me, Small.
Exactly.
All right. Okay. So we've handled some lying and some racial tension. Let's have some fun now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We love it.
So when you think of the Las Vegas, you obviously think of, the Rat Pack. And that was arguably the genesis, the foundation from what all the cool things that Las Vegas is. So, the Sinatra kind of vibe. And then Elvis came in and he did some pretty cool stuff. But there were people who had big ideas that really kind of built this place up. And then recently, there's been other really very super powerful people who've done some pretty cool things. And Brett and I were actually talking yesterday. We're like, it'd be kind of cool to vote kind of like our Las Vegas Hall of Fame, the people who've had the most financial influence in Las Vegas. So we created some categories. And the categories are business people and politicians. I should get a boo sign. And entertainment. Oh, by the way, Danny has a boo sound effect in her show, but I don't have one of mine.
No.
And sports. So we're going to roll through these 4 categories and tell you who we believe are the most influential people to make Las Vegas the way it is. And by the way, if you're in the live chat...
But we're doing this based on the last 25 years.
That's right. Good point.
We're throwing all of the original founders of Las Vegas already into the Hall of Fame. So we're really kind of going from 1990 through today in that realm. And obviously, big news today, 98-year-old Kirk Kerkorian passed away. He was the guy who created MGM Resorts International in the early 1990s. And he was a guy, you think of the MGM, and they have 62,000 employees in Las Vegas, MGM Resorts. They own the whole damn place. And he was he was a guy that obviously was a very forward-thinking guy. He's born before the Great Depression. He's born in World War I era. He was a pilot. He did all kinds of stuff. He bought 80 acres of land at the Strip at Flamingo. What is now Bally's, the original MGM Grand. Of course, everybody remembers history of Las Vegas, the fire. Oh, my God, the MGM Grand was on fire. Well, that was Bally's, correct.
Bally's, that's right. And a lot of people didn't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. Yeah, the MGM that we know about came about in, 1993 or something like that. He bought the Desert Inn and the Sands. He sold the Sands to Sheldon Adelson. He sold the Desert Inn to Steve Wynn in 2000. Steve Wynn bought it for his wife. It says, Elaine needs something to do. I'll buy you a hotel.
Hey, you
need a new bag, honey? No, I'll get you a hotel. That's awesome. I'm thinking, purse? No, jewelry? No, hotel's good. Golf course too? Sure, we'll get you.
I'm like, hey, can we go to the what are those stores called? The what are those stores over? Oh, come on! The cheap stores.
The souvenir shop.
No. What's the stores? Oh, for the love of God, my Savior.
Walgreens.
What's the stores where they take stuff from one place and they take it to outlets?
Outlet mall. Okay. Yeah.
That was great.
All right. Well, so obviously MGM Resorts in town. They own the Bellagio, the MGM Grand, the Mirage, New York, Circus, Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, City Center, of which Kerkorian was instrumental in getting developed. He also...
Was he?
Yeah, he was. He was still doing stuff when he was 85, 90 years old.
That's interesting.
He was amazing in that regard.
Okay.
So Kirk is on my list, I think, from a business standpoint, because I think what he did more than anything, if you think about old Vegas, it was individually owned hotels. It was the mob. He's the guy, along with Steve Wynn, that brought you the corporatization of the Las Vegas Strip. Right. Good, bad, or indifferent. Kirk's the guy that really made that happen.
And arguably it's good. Otherwise, we wouldn't be where we are today.
That's
so
right.
Next on our list is Steve Weinberg. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't know who Steve Weinberg is? Well, Steve, he and his folks came here to the America, and they bought some bingo parlors. That's how they got started in the business.
Okay.
And they were like, this Weinberg thing might not be a good idea. Maybe we should do something a little less ethnic. And so Steve Weinberg became Steve Wynn. And Steve Wynn.
I'm looking at Malia's live chat thing. I'm going, really?
Malia has got to stop doing heroin during the live chat. It would be my recommendation. So Steve Weinberg is actually Steve Wynn. Now, Steve Wynn, he's the guy who created the Vegas that I love. He started here in Vegas with the Golden Nugget.
Right.
Still the only 4-star AAA, the AAA 4-star or maybe 5-star place in downtown. Then he built the Mirage, and then Bellagio, Treasure Island, Wynn Encore. And I think I told you a couple of weeks ago, I like that themed vibe. And he's the guy who said, I like that themed vibe, and I've got billions of dollars.
Right, yep.
So he's the guy that really said, he created the race. He created the arms race to how do you build casinos that draw people because they're attractions. And this, for a while that was a huge influence. It kind of faded off. And guess what? Resort World is exactly a response to that. And the guy who's running Resort World basically said, which was kind of exciting to me, he said, themed attractions are what people want. They want to have that they want it to be the attraction.
Right.
They want to walk in and go, this is cool. I want to see $1 million piece of sculpture in the lobby. I mean, who thinks that's a good idea? Well, Wynn did, and apparently it was a good idea, right? So I think Steve has, and by the way, Stevie is crazy as a loon.
Well, he doesn't see, unfortunately, either.
Well, he's blind.
His vision is
he's blind, but he's crazy.
He did walk into me once at a LiLV Rebel game.
Did he really?
He just, I think I did not realize who it was at first. And, of course, he can't see me. And he ran right into me. And I went, hey, it's Steve Wynn.
Hey, you son of a... Hey, can I have a job?
Exactly. You hiring any casino host, Steve?
Right. You wouldn't be happen to
nice
hire...
to see you.
Right. So Steve was good. And actually, you brought it up in your Kirk talk. The next guy who said, you know what, I'm going to kind of break out of the MGM Caesars environment, which owns 80%. I think I said to you, MGM owns 80 and Caesars owns 80. That's right. They both own 80% of the whole strip.
That's a Common Core math.
It's about 40-40.
Yeah.
And so Sheldon Adelson, he owns Sands, he owns Venetian, Palazzo. And what's interesting about that is it's not just the hotels. Most people, when they think of convention centers, they think, well, there's the Las Vegas Convention Center, which there is.
Which is huge.
It's monstrous.
Right.
But there's about 5 convention centers here, one of which, the second largest, is the Sands Convention Center. I've done shows there. It's huge.
Yep.
And that's his little baby. Now, is Sheldon kind of crazy?
Well, he's 80-plus years old.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's allowed to be crazy. You make it to 80 and you got billions of dollars. God bless you. Do what you want to do.
Right, crazy all you want. But here's a tip from your buddy Scott. In the event you want to run for office, and if Sheldon is paying attention to you, you're probably a Republican, which already I'm with you. But if he approaches you, if he's like, hey, this is Sheldon. Sheldon, you okay? Your voice sounds kind of great. Hey, I'm 85. Leave me alone. I like to back your party, your thing, your deal. Here's what you're going to say. No! And the reason is because whoever he backs loses. So I don't know what that is. Karma, I don't know what it is. But if he approaches you to back your political aspirations, I would suggest you say, no, thank you, sir.
I've seen his home.
Yeah, I bet
it's spectacular.
I bet it's gorgeous.
Spectacular.
Right. So, but I'm just saying, don't do it if you're a political operative. Okay. And then finally,
I think you got to do a little the Fertitta brothers.
That's
you're talking station casinos. It's on there.
It was on my list.
You got Frankie, you got Lorenzo. They've done a marvelous job. When you take the places like Palace Station, Boulder Station, then you come out with basically Sunset Station.
So I did this.
The next one up. Then you kind of go.
The list?
No, then you go. I'm just doing it off the top of my head. Then you go to Green Valley Ranch.
The list is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's Wild West.
They really created
Texas
the
Station.
The good local casinos. They've got Boulder Station, Green Valley Ranch, Mount Rose Station, Palace Station, Red Rock Resort, Santa Fe Station, Station Casinos in Reno, Sunset Station, Texas Station, and then they've got these things that you would even never know. Fiesta, Henderson, Fiesta Rancho, Wildfire. They got a bunch of Wildfire stuff. Yeah. The Lake Mead Lounge, the Wild West. These guys are all over the place. For a while, they owned Aliante.
Wild West is a very nice place to go get hookers for truckers.
I'm just saying, Wild West right
by Tropicana in Arville.
Well, they have a Wild West on Valley View between Sirius and Mead, right by my studio.
I think we're talking about the same one, just farther south, down by Tropicana. It's the Wild West Casino.
No. That's Tropicana. I'm way far from Tropicana.
Right.
Brother. But there's another Wild West.
I don't think so.
It's Wildfire.
That's Wildfire.
Wildfire
is one on Rancho across from Texas Station. And actually, I played hockey in town. We used to play at the Fiesta. And right before they bought that, we used to go hang out at the Wildfire on Rancho afterwards.
Right.
Great bar, cool place, small place. Obviously, Red Rock is as nice as any casino on the Strip. It's a beautiful property. Do you know how
much that Phase 1 cost was?
Oh, no, please tell me.
It's $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's $990 some odd million.
Yeah. And now they gave all their money, of course, to Bishop Gorman High School. Here's and obviously, Vegas is an interesting town because from a private school standpoint, we only have, you have Bishop Gorman, the Catholic school. You have Faith Lutheran, the Lutheran school. You have the Meadows, which is the ultra private school. Ultra private school, and the most expensive from a high school standpoint. But you get anybody who's ever kind of been a mover and shaker in Las Vegas or raised kids in Las Vegas. There's a connection to Bishop Gorman High School in that regard. And the Fertittas are very involved there. That beautiful football field that they have there because their children went through Bishop Gorman, the new weight facility, and all the great amenities they have there are part of the Fertittas and what they've done here in Las Vegas. I think they've done a terrific job.
Goes there.
Well, not anymore. He graduated.
They did. And look.
And nobody gives a hoot. He moved in from California for 1 year to play football, and that was it.
And so are the Fertittas flawless? No, clearly not. They went bankrupt. Aliante Casino was a 600. Have you ever been to Aliante? The casino?
Yeah, sure. So it used to be Aliante Station. What happened? Why did they get rid of it?
Because it was not making any money.
No, they're smart then.
So they actually just kind of abandoned it. What happened was it was interesting. So it was a station property, and then they said, well, we're going to release it. We're just not going to pay for it. So the banks took it over, and the bank said, well, hey, would you guys run it? And the station said, oh, yeah, we'll run it. And here's our fee to do that. And so they got paid. So they ran it for a while, and they're like, nah, we just don't want to do this anymore. Right. So they backed out. That Aliante, I was there when they were building it. It was a $660 million casino.
See, that's the problem. 660. Any kind of cost overruns, and suddenly it's $666 million, and you got the Antichrist, and you can't do it.
You can't do it.
No, you just got to go. We're blowing by it. We're going to $750.
And we were there. We were at the grand opening. And we were all excited. This was in my neighborhood. We're like, well, this is really cool, and it was a nice thing. I didn't see $660 million. You walk into Red Rock. I could say, I could see, well, this might be $1 billion place. It's huge. It's got lots of neat stuff. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. And I was at Aliante. I'm like,
Well, they were in an area in Red Rock. The difference where they built Red Rock, obviously in the heart of Summerlin, a much nicer, much more developed area than Aliante, a newer area, an older area, an area that nobody goes to on accident. Nobody goes to Aliante Station on accident.
No.
Okay? You could end up in Summerlin going, hey, this is kind of cool.
Well, so here's what...
Aliante, you're going, keep on going.
Here's what I would say about that. So remember, I lived up there.
I know.
So they planted that
thing. It took you 3 buses and a transfer to get there.
Everybody called it South Reno. And those people are no longer my friends. I don't invite them to the new pool parties.
There you go.
So Aliante Casino was built smack dab in the middle of the Aliante master plan. Was the second largest master plan community, I want to say in Nevada, it might be in the country. It's still pretty large. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't a terrible idea, but their timing was just horrendous.
Right,
I mean, holy Christ. Yeah. It was just a bad time. But again, they spent so much money on this thing. I mean, 2/3 of $1 billion on a casino that it just...
I think it was one of those things they were probably thinking, okay, people are gonna grow into this as this area develops. Yeah. This will become our Red Rock, our Green Valley station, our Sunset station, and it just didn't happen. No mall went up there. The economy tanked.
That's right.
The area is not as nice as where Green Valley Ranch was. Do you like Green Valley Ranch? Yeah, I do.
It's nice. I mean, I don't
live in that area, but when I have been there before.
Yeah, me too.
And it's a nice property.
It's great. I don't think it's better than Aliante, by the way.
Right.
I think it's nice.
Yeah.
It's more established. And it's got the anchor of the district, I think it's called.
Yep.
I think that actually helped a little bit.
Of course, and now you have downtown Summerlin anchored together with the Red Rock, which is all part of it.
Pretty helpful.
And Aliante didn't have that ability. So I think it's just, unfortunately, probably a miscalculation with regards to the boom and how long it would go. And, of course, nobody foresaw the economy tanking the way it did.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this before. When this was all happening, we bought our house in Aliante. We took possession in 2005. We bought it in 2003. We bought it in 2003, took possession in August or April of 2004, moved in August of 2005. We moved in there with 6 months. That house appreciated $100,000 in 6 months. And that was the time this was all going on. And Melissa was like, this is pretty great. I'm like,
time to go.
No. I literally did this. Nope. This is fake money. This is not sustainable. Something bad is in the air.
My wife's always said the same thing about our place, because I mean I've lived in Las Vegas for almost 19 years now, but we've only had 2 homes. So the first house we bought at the end of '96, and when I found out we were having twins in '97. We very quickly outgrew the house. And it was like, okay, it's time for us to move. Right. And in 2000, we ended up buying another house where we've lived since 2000.
Right.
And our house in that short period of time probably, appreciated. It was a small starter house. I mean, it's a $120,000 house that we bought.
The first one.
The first one. Right. And I think we sold it for $150,000. A couple of years later, and thinking, this is pretty good, man. An extra $25,000, but pour that right into the next house.
Right.
And then that new house, it was more money for us. But the funny thing was, the lady who our realtor was, as she walked into the new house to show me the new house, she looked around and she goes, and she's a good friend of ours, and she looks around and she goes, I've been in this house before. I'm like, this is like The Exorcist. What do you mean you've been in this house before? Yeah, she's like, this is the very first house I ever sold. Like, that's kind of cool.
Really? So that's cool.
And it was in foreclosure. This was in 2000. So we bought it, and at the height of the boom, so from 2000 to 2006, the house tripled in value. Oh, yeah. Tripled in value.
Nuts.
So now you're thinking to yourself, I'd love to cash out and sell this thing because I know it's not like you. Right. But then it's like, where the hell am I going to move?
Right.
Anything that's this size is 1.4, 1.5, $1.6 million, and I can't afford that.
That's right. It's like a bit of a handcuff, right? You're like, well, they're telling me
what I should have done was,
but where I want to move has also done the same thing.
Cash, take the money, and then rent.
Yeah.
But obviously, hindsight's 20/20.
Yeah.
But there's nothing worse. My daughter and I were talking about this yesterday. She goes, Dad, the hardest thing about being a college student is moving. I go, the hardest thing you ever do in your life is moving. There's nothing more, other than somebody getting sick and dying. Obviously. There's nothing that upsets your life more than moving. Yeah. Your whole world is upside down. Right. It sucks.
Try moving dead parents' stuff.
Yes, that's even worse.
Man, that was. I believe the technical word was shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, we should go to our next category.
So we did business. Now I didn't see the chat people talk about any other business people. So apparently you have
perfect. There's a couple more. They mentioned the guys that did the Greenspuns with the newspapers and that.
Greenspuns. So the Greenspuns were interesting. They actually created the big paper, and then they just completely imploded. Just unbelievable. And the vibe about the Greenspuns is I've never heard a good thing about them. Never.
Really?
Never. And I've got a good friend of mine, who has done business with them, who's been acquired by them, and said it was the worst business thing he's ever done. It was horrible. And now, they own The Sun, which is basically an insert in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. And it's just, it's bad. The whole thing is pretty crazy. All right, let's move to politicians. Wanna?
No, but we have to.
But we have to, because they're out there. Again,
we're talking the last 25 years, and if you think of influential politicians in Las Vegas over the last 25 years, it's a short list.
Yep.
It's a very short list. We narrowed it down to 2 guys.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about His Honor.
His Honor.
Yeah, the original Oscar Goodman. The original Mayor Goodman.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, here's why I like Oscar. First of all, we all know in Las Vegas that the mayor's position in Las Vegas is basically ceremonial. They don't really do a lot.
And the vast majority of the community doesn't live in Las Vegas.
Right, and most people here now know that, but the Strip is not in Las Vegas. Pretty much a lot of that stuff in the South is in a place called Paradise, which is not Las Vegas. It's basically Clark County. So all that money that you think about goes to Las Vegas actually doesn't. It goes to Clark County.
Now, I technically actually live in Las Vegas, and you do as well here.
Yep.
Las Vegas is pretty much Sahara north.
Yep.
So as Mayor Goodman used to always say, when you're at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Sahara, and you see the billboard that has the beautiful girls saying "beautiful girls to your room" on one side, and the Viagra sign on the other, that's where my city begins.
How perfect.
I thought that was a great
But here's what I think Oscar did that had a huge financial impact. He played the part of the happiest mayor in the world.
Right.
And you combine the happiest mayor in the world with arguably the best PR campaign in the world, which is whatever happens here stays here. That was
we should mention Rossi Rollenketter, because Rossi is the guy with the Las Vegas Visitor and Convention Authority. He's the guy who is in charge of all that.
So you mean R&R?
Rossi is the guy in charge of Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority, and he's one of the most influential guys in town.
Because he should be in the business.
Well, we didn't mention him, but he's a very nice guy, and that's a great point. He's terrific.
No, that's a great point. So you got Oscar, who's doing he's got his Bombay, and he's got his 2 gals, and everywhere he goes, he's doing that. And he's got the big bulbous nose, and he's a drunk probably, and that's great. You know what? He did things that made all of us kind of proud. That drinking part wasn't, but I'll give you an example. For a while, there was just a ton of graffiti going on here in Las Vegas, and Oscar's like, yeah, I got a solution. I'm just going to cut off their thumbs. And you know how the media is, and most of the media is kind of liberal, and they're like, clearly you're kidding. He's like, nope.
Yeah, he's interesting. I have great interactions with Oscar from time to time, but he had all kinds of stuff. He's telling 3rd graders. They're asking him, if you're on a desert island, Mr. Mayor, what would you bring with him? Gin.
I remember that.
Gin.
And people are like, And I remember reading that and going, if you're on an island, I'd have gone rum because there's probably coconuts, and coconuts go with rum. But I get where he's going. I get the gin thing. Yeah, I want to be fucked up the whole time. Well,
I'm
alone.
When the economy was tanking and President Obama was talking about don't come to Las Vegas, Oscar was the mayor and basically said, "Fuck you, don't come." I mean, that's what he said, and he's a Democrat talking to the president saying, "We don't want you."
And Wynn, by the way, he did the same thing. Wynn is a registered Democrat as well, and he's like, "Really? Go fuck yourself."
Right.
And I don't think we don't need your shit. Hey, look at that. That's 2 in a row.
Way to go.
And I love that. That's the one thing that I tend to see with these guys who are at reasonable rank, the Steve Wynn's, the Adelsons, the Oscar guys. They don't give a damn.
See, that's the Vegas attitude, and that's the Vegas attitude. There's no pretentiousness in Las Vegas from that standpoint.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I think you got real people that have been there in those spots. And I told this story, I think, once before, but I'm sitting at an event with Oscar Goodman having lunch, and he does not eat lunch. He drinks gin. That's what he drinks. I'm thinking, you don't want any lunch, Mr. Mayor? He goes, it's too early to eat. It's too early to eat. And I was giving him shit.
Did he really say that?
Yeah. I was giving him shit about the Suncoast. The Suncoast had just opened, and my kids were like 5 or 6 years old. I'm thinking, why do I have to walk through a casino with the waitresses' asses hanging out with my 6-year-old sons to go bowling? Why can't I have a family entrance for bowling? Why can't I have a family entrance for the movies? Why do I have to go through the smoky casino staring at the girls' butts? I don't mind staring at their butts, but they're 7. I want to... And he looked at me and he goes, my kids grew up here. Your kids will be fine. That was it. That was his answer.
Boom.
That's it. And it's actually, ironically, as you know, I'm a cancer patient. His son is a doctor at the Comprehensive Cancer Facility.
Is that right?
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. But
so I think
he was always very nice. He had great stories. He was very charismatic.
And he also, I think he was the genesis of the start of helping downtown Las Vegas. He knew that place was a shithole. I know. Under his watch, it was a shithole.
Well, it was under everybody's watch before him, and he tried to.
And then he took it. It was under his watch, and it was bad news. And he said, "Look, we've got to do." So he started things like, or that group, and if you're going to build a place on the East Fremont, we'll pay for your neon sign. We just want good stuff there, and they were doing that. Right. The Griffin downtown bar, all those signs were paid for by basically paid for by the city because they wanted new stuff. And I thought, okay, that's the way to play this thing.
He raked the guy over the coals at Neonopolis, just raked that guy over the coals forever. He just butchered that guy. That was a deal that happened before, I guess he was.
That is
or maybe I forget all the intricacies involved in that particular deal.
That's the weirdest property in the world.
Right.
I mean, it really is. Have you ever walked around that place?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's like a creepy maze.
Yeah.
It's like, the Harry Potter movie where they're running around.
Well, it was, like Jillian's was a kind of a cool place.
The location is a good location.
Right.
Like you would think, this is pretty good.
Well, now it's like what? God. It's like a swap meet kind of
I haven't been
Indian
there in so long.
market kind of. It's like some crazy, like I don't even know what the hell it is anymore.
Telemundo is in there.
Okay.
And I don't know what else is in there.
Yeah.
So Oscar... Where Oscar is the guy that we all kind of know, and I think he played a great PR role in Las Vegas and drawing people here and all that kind of stuff. The other guy who we have to speak about, of course, is Harry Reid, who I believe you have a T-shirt with Harry Reid.
I do, yeah. And as Molly has pointed out, almost every person we're talking about here of a certain faith, Harry's not of that faith. Harry has no faith. Harry's the Antichrist. Hey, I don't know.
We have no proof of that, by the way.
But I care.
I will not be sued because we actually exposed him as the Antichrist.
If it wasn't for the corruption of John Ensign, we'd probably be talking about him because he was a rising star when he screwed up his life.
We talked about that. Yeah. We were going to put him on there. This guy, John Ensign, was the senior senator or whatever senator for Nevada.
The junior senator from behind Harry Buttocks.
Good-looking guy. Yeah. He was well-spoken, it seemed like.
Very much so.
He wasn't one of those, a lot of Republicans, God bless their little, not very bright hearts. They think the right things, and if you get them with a couple drinks, they sound great. But God, you put them up on a stage, and they sound like they've just been shot in the forehead, and they had a frontal lobotomy, but they're letting them out because it's good for them because of the air. And this guy sounded like, you know what? This is a Republican. And I'm a Republican, by the way, who seems to know what he's talking about. I'm like, yeah, go, John. And then he decides, you know what? I want to fuck this girl right here. Good idea. Is she your wife? No. She's not my wife, but I still like to fuck her.
Okay, boy,
you know what? We're going to go ahead and ask you for some money about that. I appreciate that, but I'm going to fuck that up, too. And then guess what? He went like this. Boom. And you know what he does now?
You told me. I forget.
He's a vet.
That's right. He was a doctor before. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Dr. Ensign now.
Well, he's a practice at the corner of Rampart and Charleston.
And Charleston. He's the guy who is in the property that used to have one of the greatest restaurants there. Then it was this other thing, and then it was about 15 different properties.
Yeah.
And now,
why has that location always suffered?
That property. When we first moved here, they had a Chinese kind of Asian fusion restaurant. Mm-hmm. It
was great. Oh yeah, Monsoon, wasn't it?
Maybe.
I think it was.
Maybe. It had like rivers on the underground. Yeah. I'm like, this is great. We had just lived here. We're like, well, let's make it the best place in the world.
A week later, it was gone.
I'm like,
now it's a veterinary clinic.
We drove there. We're like,
yeah, they're gone.
What the hell happened?
Yeah,
I wanted Kung Pao chicken.
Correct.
Why is it not there? Oh, jeez. Wait a that. Okay.
It's in Boca Park, yes.
Yeah, so he blew
right next to MJ's.
So Harry Reid. Okay, so I don't really care for Harry. I don't care.
I don't know anybody. I don't know. Here's the funny thing. And there's all seriousness, I've lived here for 19 years. Yep. There's not one person, not one ever, who said, I really like Harry Reid.
How many people work at MGM?
62,000.
62,000 people like
they don't. Well, they don't.
They don't.
They might. They don't like Sheldon Adelson because he's not unionized.
I'm just telling you this. 62,000 people at the very minimum like Harry because he actually...
How many of those people there speak English?
Mia Dona Cara. Because here's what happened.
The culinary union likes him.
No, what I'm talking about. He saved City Center. Yeah. That's what he did.
Right.
City Center was going to die. This was Fontainebleau. Fontainebleau, to this day, is a $1 billion...
glare
of metal.
No, it's a glare is what it is.
It's $1 billion of metal. God, that's pretty neat. So that's what $1 billion does. By the way, if you ever want to know what the furniture in Fontainebleau looked like, go to the Plaza.
Oh.
the plaza bought all of Fontainebleau's furniture.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they did a big upgrade, spent a couple $1 million.
You know where the Stardust was. They were rebuilding the Stardust. Boyd Gaming owned the Stardust, right. And the economy tanked. And I was playing golf with a guy who worked for Boyd Gaming. He was a high up at Boyd Gaming, and we were talking about the skeleton that has been there for years. And this was several years ago. And I'm like, why aren't you guys doing anything with it? He goes, look, we got a $5 billion line of credit. Believe me, it's cheaper for us not to be working on that than it is for us to be working on it. It's cheaper to pay back our line of credit and not work on it to build it than it is for us to actually build it.
Which is
I'm like, okay,
right. So what did Reed do? So what Reed did, and actually,
how did he save City Center?
And actually, Ted on the live chat kind of talked about it. So what he did is he got on the phone and said to all these bankers, "Hey, look, you're going to go ahead and cover this." Because I'm a senator, and I'm the senior senator from it. I'm the major, whatever you call those things or whatever. Get it done. So, inarguably, he probably saved City Center, and for that, I am grateful.
You like the City Center?
Yeah, I do. Now, actually, you know what is interesting? A lot of people have started to talk about you've talked about this, the Manhattanization of Las Vegas. Yeah. You've talked about that. And I've been thinking about that. And you look at City Center. City Center is a gorgeous, rounding off, $9 billion property. It's gorgeous. And Aria is an outstanding casino hotel. Mm-hmm. But it isn't the Mirage.
Right.
It's not Wynn. It's not that themey kind of TI. Even the looks of
it's not Venetian.
It's not Venetian.
It's the Palazzo.
So I used to be a big fan of it because it has some nice properties and it was neat. But I kind of get that some people would say, it's a little too Manhattan-like. Yeah. So I don't feel as vehemently
it's a little bit too
as that.
Sterile to me. Yeah. Corporation sterilization kind of thing. I mean, I hope it does well, and I root for everything in Las Vegas to do well.
Well, that's a great, so chat question, why do so many locals hate City Center? We should probably bring that up. I don't know that a lot of locals do. Well, actually, I'm going to, don't forget that question.
Okay.
Because I haven't answered that. But so he saved it. So, and he also, what's the nuclear place that they want to put shit?
Yucca Mountain.
Yeah, so he stopped that as well.
I'm 100% in favor of Yucca Mountain.
See, I'm not.
Here's the thing, and here's why I'm in favor of it. But you have to do it smartly. First of all, we have nuclear power plants all over America.
Right, being managed
in much more populated areas, all over the Northeast, where a spill could happen at any moment. Yet they never do. Yeah. So obviously the scare tactic. Okay, 3 Mile Island, 1979.
No, not just there. It happened in Chernobyl as well.
Okay, Chernobyl. And how long ago was Chernobyl? That's the Rushkies.
It doesn't matter.
Let's talk about the United States.
What you're doing is it's a false argument. You're saying it doesn't happen. It is. It does happen.
Okay, but it hasn't happened in 35 years.
But it does happen.
Okay, let's talk 35 years of new technology, new this, new that. Right. But there are hundreds of nuclear power plants all over the East Coast. So, and they're storing this stuff there with millions and millions of people potentially at risk.
They're not storing content. So that's
it's the spent rods.
So hold on. So in a nuclear power plant, it's I don't know what they're called, live rods. The opposite of spent. I don't know what the word is, but it's a different thing. You've got people. You've got technicians who are managing and watching this content, making it happen. My concern with Yucca Mountain is they're going to hire a bunch of porn slappers and go,
no,
hey,
come
you
on.
Kids, no, I'm not kidding around. You kids, go ahead and just watch. If that needle goes to the blue, pick up the phone.
Oh, come on.
And if it goes to red,
that's an oversimplification.
Run because you are fucked.
Well, right now, here's the thing, Scott. Right now, those spent rods are being stored right there where they're being used.
Good.
So Philadelphia's gone tomorrow.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, which is 5 times bigger than Las Vegas. All right, so fuck you, Philadelphia. All right, so
here's the problem with Philadelphia. Spelling. Nobody can spell it. It's fucking cold.
So if only Philadelphia was in Massachusetts, we'd never do it.
Massachusetts, you know what? If the fucking... well, that's two. If this... Oh, man. Oh, my God. Where am I at? Hold on. We're like 25. Listen, if you're going to put a nuclear plant in the cold, fuck yourself.
Okay, but here's my main point, though. Having this stuff stored in Las Vegas, I'm going to go with it. It is a very high likelihood that we're not going to have an issue on the catastrophe level that you're worried about. So I'm going to take the fear factor out. I'm taking the fear factor out of everything. Global warming doesn't bother me. The drought in California doesn't bother me. None of this, the polar ice caps melting, they don't bother me. Global, my toes are cold at night, the extra half a degree, I'm okay with. So I'm not freaking out about that part of it. No. But if I am in Nevada and I am a citizen of the state, of the great state of Nevada, I want money for schools. I want money for roads. I want money for infrastructure. I want the best deal I can. And then I'll take your spent rods, but I want Nevada to be pollution-free, glorious. I want all those things to happen.
Yeah. Here's the other
problem. Promise that Las Vegas will have water forever.
Here's the other problem.
Because we're taking the nuclear waste around the world.
That has nothing to do with water.
Whatever our issues are.
Well, that has nothing to do with water. Here's the other problem. So Yucca Mountain is a nuclear dump, in essence.
Right.
Where's the other nuclear dump in the USA right now?
Behind my building.
No, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
They don't have one. Okay. And so here's the other problem. So if there is a nuclear power plant in Philadelphia, and God bless those little cold-hearted bastards who started, the 19th
They threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Here's the other problem. When you build, so your real argument about the whole nuclear plant should be this. Yeah, Chernobyl was a mistake. We learned from it. 3 Mile Island was a mistake. We learned from it. So now we understand the things that can go wrong, and now we've fixed it. Here's the problem with Yucca Mountain. It's never been done before. They don't know what's happening. They don't know what's going to happen to a nuclear rod, a spent rod. By the way, it's not spent like after you beat off. It's not spent like it's not like that kind of spent. By the way, that arguably was the funniest thing that's ever been said. It's not
the unicorn's back.
It's not like you're like, yeah, you're like, oh man.
I think you're coming from the fear factor, and I'm not into the fear factor part of it. I'm into the solution part of it, and I think here's my worry.
Wait a minute, you didn't let me finish my spent rod point.
Finish your spent rod. You went off the rails there, buddy.
I don't feel like I did. We don't know, and that's the problem. Hey, I have worked with people in Nevada. I've worked with government people in Nevada.
Okay, but we also have the fabulous facility of, what is that place down?
Switch.
Thank you. Which has got the most sensitive materials in the world.
No, it doesn't.
It has a ton of it. What are you talking about?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't have sensitive, poisonous material.
Well, no, but it's got obviously hugely confidential, classified information.
Don't disagree. They are on my list, as a matter of fact. Okay. But here's the problem. What they're trying to do is stop bad people from breaking in. What they didn't design it for is for nuclear problems from leaking out. Now, if the switch cat, if Mr. Roy, I think that's his name, said, hey, yeah, you know what? Let me get into the Yucca Mountain world, or that dumbass Elon Musk or whatever his name is. He said, I can, all right, get in there, big fellas, and go ahead and do it. My problem is I don't trust us, the state.
This is so not like you.
Really? What's not
You're
like
Mr. Conspiracy Theory here.
It's not about conspiracy.
You're assuming the worst.
No, I'm assuming that we have a bunch of dumbasses who are saying
it would be protected be protected by the United States Air Force potentially.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
You and
the Air Force can't go. Hey, bring in the bombers and do what? I was in the Air Force. All the Air Force does is they kill women and children. God bless us. That was my job. We came in and go, hey, we're bombing you. Bam! If we have a nuclear problem, it'd be like, they're going to fly away from that crap because, hey, what's that blue glow? Hey, let me check my manual. Blue is, hey, that's nuke. And they're gone. So that doesn't play out for me. Okay, let's go to entertainment.
We disagree.
We agree to disagree. Okay, I didn't think this show would last 5 minutes, and we're already at an hour almost. Okay, entertainment. Let's talk about people who made entertainment happen. All right, I said before, the Rat Pack is without question the genesis of all great things in Las Vegas. As a matter of fact, even to this day, people who bitch about this issue or that issue say, I wish it was like the Rat Pack. And it's because back then, God, it was magic. People dressed up, and that was where it was at.
Oh, yeah.
So today, we know what
it wasn't just the Rat Pack as much. It was the great entertainers of the day, the Harry Belafonte's of the world, obviously Elvis. Yeah. And my mom and dad, they're in their early 80s now, but when they came to Vegas in the 70s, 30, 40 years ago when they were our age, basically, they came, you get dressed in suits and you got in your gowns and you were going to see a show and you're going to see the great entertainers of what was going on. So when you think about from 1990 on, there's a few things that have happened. Yeah, of course, you have the great individual entertainers.
I just want to interrupt. I just want to say Danny wrote, a leaking rod. Now, there's a problem.
There you go. There's obviously the great, solo guys, the Lance Burtons, the David Copperfields of the world, those kind of things that we were talking about a little bit. But I think what happened 15 years ago, 10 years ago.
I would say this. I wouldn't discount them. So Lance Burton, actually mostly Lance Burton. Copperfield, well, he's kind of a permanent cat now, but he used to not be. But Lance Burton was, one of the first magicians who said, I'm in.
Right.
And he really was in. He was in for, 10, 15 years or whatever. And that was one of the, the highest pinnacle shows back in his time.
Sure,
it was like, that was, you got to go to Lance Burton. And it's the same thing with Siegfried and Roy.
Siegfried and Roy, obviously. Yeah.
So, I have a real issue with messing with animals.
Pussy?
Yeah. Ah! I'm not taking that out. I'm going to let you eat that one on your big radio show.
No, please don't.
No, I'm letting you eat it.
Oh.
My
pussycat.
My take is this. Hey, if you do this to a tiger long enough, poke, poke, poke. At some point, poke, poke, poke. The tiger's going to go, you know what? I've had enough.
I'm a little hungry.
I decided that you must be hurt, and I'm going to drag you by the ruff of your neck off stage. Hey, but wait a minute. If you do that, you might sever my spine. Oops. Sorry.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Ruh-roh. All right. So, but, perfect example. So, O, S, and F, or R, Siegfried and Roy, those cats... those guys kind of made it go on. It was pretty cool. But if we rewind even to now, so I think one of the entertainment things, Guy, I want to say Leviti or Lavoie, he's a guy who created Cirque du Soleil.
Right.
So Cirque du Soleil, I mean, there's no question. Everywhere you turn, you bump into a guy in a clown suit who can do a split and then climb on your head. That's great. You're everywhere. But those guys really changed the entertainment power of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A lot of us make fun. All the entertainers, by the way, here who aren't in Cirque make fun of Cirque. Oh, it's another Cirque show. Yeah, guess what? They're kicking your ass. And the reason they're kicking your ass is because they're like magic. Have you seen Love? Holy crap. It's like magic. Go see Ka. Go see Yo. It's amazing. Now, is it a little saturated? We've already talked about that. Yeah. It's saturated. Is Chris Angel super freak? Is he any good? I don't know. Eventually, I'll probably go.
Right.
Just so I can talk about it on this show. But they forced all the other properties, and by the way, all the Cirque shows are MGM properties. I don't know if anybody knows that, but Cirque shows are only on MGM properties. They're not on Harris or now Caesar's properties. So they forced all the other guys to go, hey man, we got to get our show going. Sure. We've got to create good stuff. So then you got things like,
well, I think if you look at Caesars and what they did is they created the Coliseum and they got Celine Dion and they said, look, we're not just going to have a show. We're going to put 2,500 people in here a night to see the hottest thing on the planet.
4,000 in that room.
4,000, whatever the number was. Okay,
4,000. Huge.
And it's
an unbelievable number.
Then you're bringing in the Elton Johns and the Rod Stewarts and obviously Shania Twain now and that room.
Have you heard that joke? Hey, Shania, why the long face? What's that? That's the sound of hell going, Scott, you'll be coming here soon. Fair enough.
Right. So I think Celine and that
Celine,
venue.
But she was the first woman, you're right.
Right.
She was the first, not even woman, first entertainer who said, I'm going in. I'm going in.
Right. At the height of my popularity.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make a long stay. I'm not going to come in for a weekend. I'm coming for months or years. 6 months and years. Right.
And she's been here for years. And she is so powerful. And listen, I saw her show. And I saw her with, with Stuart. He took us. And so I'm watching Celine. And I'm like, well, okay, there she goes. And she, the chick can sing.
She can.
There's no
if she stands sideways, though, you won't see her.
Well, she's like a zipper. Yeah. If she turns around and goes, You're like, well, that's a goddamn zipper. But the problem with her is, all of us entertainer guys, yeah, sure. We all want to be able to do banter. I think you and I do good banter.
Sure.
Celine, God bless her little heart, wouldn't know a banter if it was like a badger.
Nah, she's French Canadian.
Yeah,
they don't know
she's
shit.
She's like, it's a memorized line. Oh, I don't think that. What?
I said it. I said something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So her banter was horrible. Now so Stuart's like, oh, I think she's just lovely. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? What are you doing? God, this is 33 cuss words. I'll be here all week working on this one. Yeah. But production value amazing. And she's been here for a while, and she said, we're going to take contemporaries and put it in Las Vegas, and we're going to sell tickets. As a matter of fact, Britney Spears,
right? I
should have put her on the list.
Well, she wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for Celine.
Right. Yeah. And Britney Spears
Rod Stewart's the world, yeah.
But he's talented. Britney Spears has the mental capacity of a small soap dish.
Oh. Okay.
And, I mean, clearly, you watch her, she's lip-syncing the whole thing, and that pisses me off. And I'm like, yeah, but you're not there for the music. The fuck I'm not. You know what? Bone, baby, you have it, whatever to her. She's got some good songs.
Oh, baby, baby.
Yeah, good songs. But I want her to sing those songs. That would be kind of nice. But she's not singing them. But that's all right. So I'm
she's not singing them? Who's singing them?
She's not singing.
Really?
It's a voice.
Oh
no, it's all bullshit. Okay, I have got to go.
I thought Shania was changed. Okay, but anyway,
no.
The other one we did.
Celine she actually sings, but
well,
Britney,
so did Shania, I think.
Oh, Shania does, yeah. But then we got to go back a little bit. So who were the headliners of Las Vegas 10 years ago?
15 years ago, yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah. Danny Gans. Danny Gans was a great guy. Danny Gans was a brilliantly genius in his ability to do voices. The first time I heard him do the 12 Days of Christmas with 12 different voices, and you've heard other guys do it, but when every one of them is spot on. And he was a nice guy. He actually came to a fundraising event that we did, paid $1,000 to be in a golf tournament for 4 people. It was $250 a person. He came by himself. He bought a foursome. And unfortunately, it was a rather windy day in like November. And after about 11 holes, he goes, guys, I got to do a show tonight. I got to be able to sing. I got to leave. Sorry. And he couldn't have been nicer about it. Yeah, he gave us the money, and so he tragically died. Obviously, well before his time.
That was brutal.
He was in the movie Bull Durham. Right. He was a minor league baseball player. He was a great athlete. Immensely talented.
His is a tragedy. Tragedy. I have a friend who was his massage person, and they were very close friends. Mm. And he had a drug issue, and that's what most people believe killed him. And he was, I saw his show. Did you see his show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I saw his show probably a year before he passed. Mm-hmm. And you could tell.
Yeah.
My age,
right?
I got it. This is like, there's a cat out there named Gordy Brown.
I've seen Gordy. Yep.
And Gordy is outstanding.
He is.
He's a very nice guy, a little manic. But so am I. So, but he does things that I get. I'm 50 plus, and so a lot of what he does is no longer resonates with people who might be paying for tickets now.
Right.
So so when I watched Danny Gans, I went there to basically tip my hat to. You made this happen. This is kind of a big deal. The Danny Gans Theater is now the Terry Fader Theater, by the way. So where Terry Fader's playing, this is where Danny Gans, made his bones forever. And he actually went to the Wynn right before he passed away. So Steve Wynn said, "Hey, you're kind of the guy. I'll take you out of there. Let the puppet guy do his thing over there. We'll bring you over here because you're kind of a cool guy." And which I thought was a pretty cool move by Wynn.
Well, I think if you look at the demographic of the show-going crowd in Las Vegas, it is not the 21 to 29, 30-year-old crowd. It is a 35-plus year-old crowd.
You make a good point.
I think it's important. I mean, people aren't on there doing Lil Wayne impressions because, if I sit there and go, I'm going to go, who the fuck is Lil Wayne?
That's actually a really good point. That's a good point.
But I don't necessarily only want to hear Jimmy Stewart either. But, I understand what you're saying.
That's what it kind of felt like. He was doing that kind of, hello, my baby, hello. And do you guys know Al Jolson?
Right.
Yeah, either do I. But my mom thought he was pretty goddamn funny.
Grandma loved him.
Right. So but he was one of the first long-term stage named after him, headliners that people knew. Actually, Clint Holmes had a stage or a theater after him as well. But Danny was one of those cats. He was all that in a bag of chips. All right. Now, here's two things that a lot of people are like,
well, obviously, you
don't like it.
Go ahead. No, you're right. Go ahead. No, it's good.
So, and the thing, so if you look at today, so we've talked, a lot of what we're talking about is in the past. Yeah, but it doesn't count. Well, but I'll tell you what's happening today. Two things that are happening. The first is DJs of today are kicking ass.
Right.
And you're like, and I know a lot of entertainers here locally, and they're like, oh, DJs suck. And all they do is they play other people's music. And guess what? Here's what happens. Those people are making 6 figures a night. Gee, that seems sad. They don't have to pay me that much. No, and we won't. All I'm going to ask you to do is bring in 7 figures a night. Hell, you can figure out how to bring in 7 figures a night with your doo-wops and whatever. You're hired. Guess what? You can't do it.
Right.
We've got magazines that are dedicated to just DJs, man. Like this is DJ town. So you want to go to Encore? This guy's hit. DJ Cass Zed. That guy, he's big. That cat's huge. He's got, oh my God.
DJ Snake.
I don't want to go to Encore. Can I go somewhere else? By the way, Foxtails, they're in deep shit.
Oh, okay.
They don't get anybody new because they don't have any money. But you want to go to these guys? Oh, yeah, sure. Wait a minute. Hold on. How about Surrender? How about all these? Yeah, oh, sure. How about, I can't believe this guy's there.
Kevin Dillon, it's because the movie just came out.
Yeah,
that's why.
So he's got that. But, they got whole sections. But this is, Cruella. I want to see Cruella, by the way. They seem fascinating to me. It's huge.
That's just in Las Vegas 7?
This is in, 7. Las Vegas 7. So these guys are spending buku bucks. And by the way, those are all full-page ads. That can't be cheap.
Could you ever imagine in your heyday paying $1,500 for a bottle of vodka? Imagine, okay, let's go back to when you were 21 years old. Let's go back 30 years. Okay, so now we're in 1981. And here comes, I don't know, it's Madonna. And she's playing, what?
If you see me where your picture is up there and it shouldn't be, just go, hey, hit a fucking button.
Oh, I didn't notice. Okay. But let's say it's 1985.
Yep.
Okay. So suddenly you're in the nightclub at the Mirage, and here comes the hottest thing on the planet, Madonna.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you paying $1,500 for a bottle of Tennessee Jack Honey to sit there and listen to Madonna?
Well, maybe. It's pretty good. No.
$1,500. No, well, yeah. Of course, girls are free. Now, your wife's in for free.
No, I wouldn't. And by the way, my kids, one of my daughters has gone to these things, and they don't pay anything.
Right, of course, the girls are free.
They go to a table, they get paid, they're going to get a drink, and they're like, and my kids are pretty smart. They're like, yeah, I'll drink your drinks.
Of course they will.
Hey, you want to hang out?
Hell no.
What do you got? Again, you, not bright. Me, brighter.
Me drink for free. You pay $1,500. Thank you.
So no, I wouldn't. But that's my point. And the point of all this is DJs are killing it. I'll pay you 6 figures, and I'll make 7 figures, or even high 6 all day. And I've said this a million times with all the entertainers who say DJs are killing it, as in making us bad. It's the opposite of that. What they're doing is they're keeping Vegas afloat. Or a Floyd. And I've been to a Floyd. He's a lovely man.
Okay.
So what's happening? That's awesome. So what's happening? So are people gambling as much as they used to? They're not.
No.
It's an entertainment play.
It is.
Well, guess what DJs do? It's an entertainment play. So, yeah, I'll pay those guys all day, half an hour. If one of you guys can do your lounge act and make that kind of money, fuck, I'll bring you in the New York second.
And in our last spot, it's not just the nightclubs, because now that party's been taken outside at the pool, at Rehab, which was what the Hard Rock started the whole thing. But the fights, when you saw the boxing match with Pacquiao Mayweather, you saw the big fight at Rehab outside where somebody be touching somebody's woman.
Well, I'll tell you, and so Rehab, there's Encore literally rebuilt their hotel. They rebuilt it to create a larger pool environment. Think about it.
Right.
When Encore was first built, it was that arch or whatever that thing was. Drive by it now. There's this a bunch of little look like little.
Right.
I don't know what that is. That's the pool.
Right.
The pool's in the front. Why? Because of that kind of stuff. Rehab made that happen. I've been to Rehab. It's a shit show. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
It is crazy.
I saw CeCe DeVille, who's the guitar player.
CeCe DeVille who's the guitar
player from Poison. By the way, CeCe DeVille.
He might be 12 pounds.
He is a pocket guitar player. Hey, you want to hear a riff? Hold on.
Every rose.
All right, Cece, shut the fuck up. Put it back in. So he was literally in the cabana next to us. So we were there with Melissa's cousins, who are like big spenders, and he was wasted out of his gourd. So he's, like I said, he looks like a Q-tip. He's got big white puffy hair. He's like, whoa. He's like 5'0". Yeah, I'm emboisoned. Great. And meanwhile, as you look around there, and you could literally walk on the water, not because you're Jesus, because there's so much scum and crap on that water that I believe you could actually walk upon it. But
that's a lot of suntan lotion.
It was a lot of suntan lotion, and let's call it suntan lotion. But I'll tell you what, one of the most fascinating things I've ever seen in my life, and they did a TV show about that, and that started another thing that created millions of dollars. Okay, finally, let's go into sports.
Well, I think sports, Vegas, for not having a professional sports team, we do host and have monster events in Las Vegas. And I think, first of all, you go back to 1990, you go to UNLV basketball, and you look at Jerry Tarkanian and what he meant to the city. He really did with those rebel teams in the 70s and 80s and into the 90s when they won the national championship in 1990 before he was unceremoniously booted out by the assholes at UNLV, Bob Maxim and the cowards there. He gave Las Vegas an identity when it came to sports. He gave the people who lived here a reason to love Las Vegas more than the tourists coming who loved the gambling and the fun. But it gave locals. See, the biggest thing to me about Las Vegas that is hard for people to understand. Nope, the vast majority of us didn't grow up here. The vast majority of us didn't go to high school here. The vast majority of us did not go to UNLV. We don't have an emotional attachment to Las Vegas other than we like the weather.
Right.
If I asked you what's your favorite thing about Vegas, you would say today because it's hot.
I'd say
right.
You.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Way to go, Scott. But I think in 1990, in those days, it gave people who grew up in Las Vegas, it gave them a sense of home, a sense of being, like the Blackhawks winning the championship last night, or I'm assuming Golden State is about ready to win the NBA title tonight for the first time in 40 years.
Let me ask you this
as well. But so Tark did that for Las Vegas.
Do you think Tark? So I get that, but did he help the city or the?
Well, sure. He took UNLV from basically
financially.
Oh yeah, UNLV has been at the time when he came in the late 1970s. They used to play at the convention center. So he got the Thomas and Mack Center built because of how good the basketball program was. UNLV became a much more important university nationally because of the basketball program.
Oh, there you go.
So there's no doubt about it. Financially, cool. It was there. By the way, 6 minutes to go. Golden State is up by 12 on their way to a NBA title. Just thought I'd mention that to you. So I think Tark is huge. Then you talk about homegrown Las Vegans doing well. And I have to look at Greg Maddux, the Hall of Fame baseball player.
I saw this on the list, and I'm like, I know who he is, and he had a bobblehead. Which makes he's very popular. Or he has a bobblehead, because I can get a bobblehead,
he and Mike Morgan. Mike Morgan was 18 years old when he went in the major leagues right out of Valley High School. Greg Maddux, obviously a 5-time Cy Young Award winner and a Hall of Famer. A great ambassador for Las Vegas, a very nice person, very humble guy. His kids, he lives here now. His brother Mike, of course, is also involved in baseball. Greg works with, now he's going to be working, I believe, over at UNLV in the baseball program there. He worked at Bishop Gorman.
Is that right? Oh, that's cool.
With his son, who's going to be graduating from Gorman, just did, and he's going to go to UNLV. So, I mean, Greg's a great influence in town for local guys, especially when you see Greg and you say, wow, that guy's a Major League Hall of Famer, and he's not a big guy. He's an average-looking dude,
right.
Just very nice and humble. And right. I remember I was at the very first Tyson Holyfield fight, and he walked by me, or he was standing next to me.
Right.
And I go, God, that looks familiar. But he had glasses on and no hat, and you take an athlete out of their element, and you're looking at him. Yeah, I don't know who that is. And then 15 minutes later, that was Greg Maddux. Holy mackerel.
You tackle him?
No, I didn't tackle him. I would have said hi at the time.
That could have gone from a real quick story to, hey, I'll go with a real long story.
Obviously, the other big thing in Las Vegas, we talk about events, we talk about boxing, and Mike Tyson.
Oops, sorry. That was a Freudian flip.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Mike doesn't watch the show, so he's not going to kick my ass. He's going.
This is the best spot.
He's going into the something Hall of Fame.
That'd be the Nevada Sports Hall of Fame.
The Nevada Sports Hall of Fame. Way to go, Mikey.
And, Scott Whitney's his name.
And Merriweather, God bless his little...
Mayweather.
Or Merriweather.
Floyd,
he beats
the
women.
wife beater, Mayweather.
That's why I call him Merriweather.
Yeah, those two guys, I think from a boxing standpoint, in town, they're tied. First of all, Las Vegas is home to many, many stars, and sports stars who live here. Steven Jackson, who's borderline NFL Hall of Fame player, grew up in Las Vegas, played at El Dorado High School, went to Oregon State, played for the Rams forever, Pro Bowler now in Atlanta. Right. Lots of guys like that. And I think the future is bright as well. You've got 3 young, great baseball players that all basically are contemporaries of each other.
Badass kids.
Yeah, Bryce Harper, Joey Gallo, and Chris Bryant. And Chris is going to be a star, and Bryce already is a star, and Joey's off to a great start. Those guys are all basically the same age. They're all 20 to 22 years old. They played against each other. They played with each other. And if they all have the careers they're capable of having, it's going to be huge financially for Las Vegas, especially from an amateur baseball standpoint and the type of talent that is coming out of Las Vegas from that part of it.
So here it is. We've told you who are the best people in Las Vegas.
In our opinion.
And
we didn't put up-and-comers. That'd be Scott and Brett. There you go. We're up-and-comers.
I feel like that we really should just erase all that stuff and go. Okay, so I've got a broken system, but we're going to try to change for a commercial, and we'll be right back. This is the Living in Las Vegas podcast on the Vegas video. If anybody wants to buy a TriCaster, let me know. Yeah, look at that, you piece of crap. Hey, everybody, Scott Whitney for LASIK of Nevada. And I know what you're thinking. Scott, you're wearing glasses. What on earth can you tell me about LASIK? Well, let me tell you my story. So some time ago, I went and saw Dr. Rothman to see if I could get the LASIK procedure done. And I went through a bunch of tests and come to find out I wasn't a candidate. But instead of those $299 an eye guys who will pretty much work on anybody, Dr. Rothman said to me, it just wasn't an option at the time, which I really appreciated. Now, meantime, he's gone on and done 60,000 procedures. I've got friends in Reno. I've got friends here in Vegas who've all seen Dr. Rothman. As a matter of fact, he's the most experienced LASIK surgeon living in Nevada. So check out LASIKofNV.com. Again, LASIKofNV.com. And if you let them know that you heard about him from us, they'll give you 50% off of LASIK plus an extra $200 off. Again, that's LASIKofNV.com. All right, it's time for a live chat question. Yes.
We forgot one person in town, and Malia brought it up, and it's a darn good one, Andre Agassi. And Andre, of course, the great tennis player who was the rebel on the circuit, won lots of events, but also created a great foundation, the Andre Agassi Boys and Girls Club. He's very much involved in the community and done great things.
That was a good one.
And his wife, of course, Steffi Graf, the female tennis star of her era. They are in town as well.
That was really good.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Okay.
Andre deserves to be mentioned.
Maya, you're back in the game.
All right, she put down the weed for just a moment to contribute positively to the show.
Andre Agassi. Andre's pretty odd.
Andre's good. Let's go Cannon commercial.
Hey, come on, shotgun. Rebel. All right, way to go. Okay, why would I even know what a shotgun is? I grew up in Southern California. Okay, it's time for our live oh my God!
Our live chat,
live chat questions. But before we do that, I want to give you the coolest. Oh man, you guys are going to love me for this. While we're getting our live chat questions ready to go, the coolest inside scoop for locals primarily. But wait a minute, if you're paying attention, anybody can play this game. So last night, Melissa and I, all right, let's go get to dinner. So we're going to go to Herbs and Rye, and I went there, and I'm like, God, this place is packed. So we went to a place called Capos. Are you familiar with that, Capos?
Sure.
So Capos is a thing. It's like a theme-ish thing. They're playing the mafia kind of vibe. And here's a picture of what that place looks like from the outside. Probably could be a better picture. But there's some really weird things going on. This is on Sahara. And the first thing that you notice when you drive by it is there's a big RV in the front of it.
Yeah.
And this RV says United States of America. I'm like, what the hell is going on there? I'll later find out. Okay, so when you walk into, it's like a speakeasy. You walk into this really dark room, and you ring a bell, and you see this. A guy opens up a door. By the way, this is a pretty funny picture. Only because he didn't know I was going to take his picture.
Oh, okay.
I didn't tell him, hey, open the door. I'm going to take your picture. He just opened. I went, and he's like, who are you? I said, Scott. I'm one of us. He's like, do you have reservations? I'm like, no. Want to go to the bar? Yeah. And that's where I went. So here's what's awesome about this place. First of all, it's one of those dark Italian restaurants.
Yep.
Perfect for Las Vegas. That's what you want. Do you like music? Do you like the live singing music?
Yeah, it's okay.
Of course you do. Of course, no.
Sure, of course I do.
They've got a guy. It's not karaoke in that anybody can sing, but they've got a guy he's a crooner and he's singing the classics. Oh, it's so neat. Hey, is it dark out there? Yeah, it's so dark that attached to the menu they have a flashlight, just so you can see. What the hell is going on?
Honey, you've never looked better.
Because it's dark, man. So we're hanging out at the bar. And right there, you've got the kitchen folks working. And I like kitchen people. They're making it happen. They're going at it. And I'm like, okay, let's go ahead and watch these guys while they're making stuff happen. And boom, there they are. They're going. They're making it happen.
They're shooting the
Now
video.
look at this guy. This one guy's got, I think he had 6 or 7 pans going at the same time. There's fire. There's people running around. It smells like, let's call it magic. Let's call it joy. Let's call it love. And it's free. Flipping. There's noodles. That little thing that you just saw move across there. That, my friends, was Melissa who said, you should probably show them a meatball. So that little thing going across was Melissa's meatball, which is a whole different. I was actually in a band called Melissa's Meatball. I was the drummer. So here is the big secret for Capos. And I'm telling you, it's stunning. If you go on Mondays, write this down, folks. If you go on Mondays and you say, yeah, I'm a local, 50% off on everything. Everything. Now you look at their billboard at the front, it says,
you know why?
Because it's awesome.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I don't. Well, that's.
Oh, I'm about ready
I've been there. No, I've been there before.
I'm gonna cut you.
With where their location is.
It's Sahara and
but it's
Decatur.
Between Decatur and Lindell. It's not in the.
Are you out of your mind?
It's not in an area. It's not in an area where people go for dinner. It's not. It's a specialty place to go. I understand, but there's what's around there. There's not a lot of. It's not in an area where you normally go to.
You know what's around there?
My office is down the street. I drive by it all the time.
There are cars, so don't go to KSHP and don't go to a car dealership.
No, please don't go to
because they're right around there. But there's nothing wrong with that area. Other than there's a weird big RV in the front, which is kind of wacky. But let me just say. I didn't say
there's anything wrong with the area. I'm saying it's not an area where you go to normally for dinner because there's not a lot of choices for dinner right around there.
All right, fair enough. But look.
That's what I meant.
Stop.
Never mind.
Go.
Name of love.
Sing Big Deal. No, stop. By the way, Brett's going to be doing some stuff on the Shimmer showroom right after, who knows. So look, here's the deal. So this was so crazy. I was so happy. I'm like, okay, because it said if it was an industrial or industry night, which usually means you're in the entertainment thing or you're a food server or whatever. So I'm like, okay, I had my Vegas Video Network card ready and I was going to go and I was going to try to tell a story so I can get advantage. And she's like, basically what we want you to be is from Las Vegas. What? Yeah, if you just say that you're from Las Vegas, the entire deal is 50% off. That's my check. So my check, I had, by the way, the
gallows with clams.
The dinner salad.
Santucci pasta.
The dinner salad, the Caesar, and I'm a Caesar guy.
Layer cake Shiraz.
Outstanding.
What's the layer cake Shiraz?
Oh, that's wine. So if you look at
you guys boozing it up.
Yeah,
it's like $70
You're
in the
damn
booze.
right. So what? Don't judge me.
Look how inexpensive the food is.
Don't judge me.
A couple of Caesar salad.
Look, they're not screwing around. It's 50% off, and then the tax is only on the 50%. So what should have been $100 and some odd dollars was $58. $58, 6 drinks, dinner, great music. I'm in.
All right.
Now, if you're going to do this, you have to tip on the $100 and some odd dollars, not on the what you're actually. Just don't be a douchebag about that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, you want to meet up with your buddy Scott on a Monday?
They used to have a location down on Tropicana.
They did.
And the owner then, at one time to me, was a large horse's backside. So that's why I've never been back.
I asked them about that. I asked them about so the story on the RV, there is a story. That's the owner's RV, and he's like, I put it out there, and people started talking about it, and instead of parking it somewhere where I have to pay for it, people started talking about it. So I just left it out there. I said, I thought that somebody owned the parking lot, and that you guys were in dispute, and they were trying to block the place. They also have a limo.
Right.
So if you want them to pick you up, and $25 either way.
Really?
Boop. Yep. So you're like, hey, I want to go and have your clamps. All right. So they'll send a limo and come and get you.
I'll leave the joke alone.
It's I dare you to do it.
Nope.
Okay. So anyways, here's the deal. Locals, go to this place. And if you want to bump into your buddies Scott and Melissa, we might be there every other Monday or so, because I thought it was pretty magical. Okay. Live chat questions. Mike wants to know, what is the true cost of living in Las Vegas? Things like insurance costs, et cetera, et cetera. Right?
Well, I mean, talking about insurance with regards to your car, your insurance for your house, your medical insurance.
When you moved here, but it's been a long time.
Well, car insurance is more expensive than I used to live in Chicago before I moved here, and car insurance was 2 to 3 times as much as Chicago because of the amount of accidents in town and the number of transients who live in Las Vegas and the number of people that don't have car insurance.
Yep.
So car insurance is more expensive than the average city. Homeowners insurance, because property taxes are so low, your insurance on your house is not anything to sneeze at, really. It's nice.
I think
it's
I'm
not bad at all.
600 a year.
Yeah, mine is too.
Right?
It's next to nothing. I mean, if we were in a bigger place with, property taxes are about
super low.
$1 a square foot.
I think it's $1.50.
Yeah,
it's actually there's a limit to that.
Yeah,
it's going to be $1.50, and you get that thing from the
very low
whoever the comptroller, and they're like, my house isn't worth that. It's worth a lot.
Yeah,
but you're only taxing me on that. I'm in.
Well, I mean, the big thing that we talked about this last week, I think the culture shock is when you go to register your car, and if you have a relatively new car, it might cost you $600 or $700 to register your car to get your license. As opposed to $75 you might pay in California or wherever. The difference is we don't have any state income tax.
And this is a big deal.
It's a huge advantage.
I came from California. That's an immediate 8% raise.
Oh, it's 12 now.
Well, maybe. Okay. But I mean, it was
10 to 12.
Call it 10%. Immediately, you've got a double-digit raise just because you moved. Now, here's the truth is, in California, there's more jobs.
Well, I remember trying to hire somebody from Long Beach.
Yep.
And he's like, here's how much money I make in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Which I believe at the time was $120,000 or something like that. Okay. $135,000 he was making.
Right.
And I go, that's the equivalent in Las Vegas of making about $90,000.
Yep.
And that's really the difference. It was $45,000 difference when you consider all the things: your property taxes, your state income taxes, your fees, your groceries, your gasoline, everything you ever spend money on. It was about $40,000 less.
Right.
You know.
Listen. I don't regret a minute coming here.
Right.
From a cost perspective.
Right. No,
I actually, from any perspective, it's pretty cool. So I would say, now this is from Mike lives in Portland, Oregon. I think it's a pretty heavily taxed state. I think so. It is. Yeah. So I think you'll find relief. You'll definitely.
When we left Chicago, we had a small house, 1,000 square foot house with a basement. So we basically had 2,000 square feet, but they only count 1,000. Right. A detached 1-car garage. Okay, which we never use because who uses a 1-car detached garage when 6 months of the year it's under snow? Right. So it never gets used. You're like, what? I still got to walk outside the garage to get inside the house. So I might as well park closer to the door, right? What's the point of parking the car in the garage? Exactly. And we bought that house. It was like $100,000 house, but property taxes on it were like $4,000 to $6,000.
Yeah, I was probably paying $8,000.
Yeah, and you're like for 1,000 square foot house. Yeah. And then we moved out here. We're thinking, hey, we got a house that was twice as big with a 2-car garage, with a backyard, with everything for like $120.
That's my 40-60 thing. Right. I bought a house that was 60% larger, 40%. Look at the only thing that you have to worry about moving to Las Vegas is simply this. This is the only thing. Nothing else is important. You have to have a job. Either you have to be an entrepreneur.
You have to have a job.
And you have to be able to do your own stuff. Either you found a job working for somebody else, or you do what you do, or you've created your own thing.
Right.
Other than that, it's cheap to live here. It's like magic.
Well, even if you have the money and you're building a big, beautiful home, the amount of house you get for your buck is astronomically incredible.
We have people from California check us out. They're like, this house here? Come on.
A couple $1,000,000. Yeah, easy.
Without even breathing hard, it's a couple $1 million. We're like, you know what? I get it. Here? Nope. Not even close to that. So it's but I'm not saying you should come in here unprepared.
No, that's true.
Meanwhile, because a lot of people do, they just move here because the weather is nice and it's Las Vegas, and they get their ass handed to them,
right?
Because they don't know what the hell they're doing, or they have these delusions of grandeur, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm a very smart guy, I can do a lot." And like I said, we meet these people before, and they're like, "God damn, you can't even afford rent, and you want to build a business? That's not it." Good luck. Just do the homework. Don't be an idiot. Do the homework. Figure out what you want to do. And this place is a very hospitable place to hang out with. Okay? Next. Ready?
Yep.
Best place to hear live music, but not on a weekend. That's from Danny. That's a good question. Ooh.
I will default to you, Mr. Musician.
Oh, crap. Mondays, I would say you got to go to Bootlegger.
Okay.
And that's
it's karaoke night, open mic night?
It's not karaoke. It's a cabaret kind of thing. Okay. The best thing about the Bootlegger vibe is that you're going to get people who are actually already starring on the strip,
right?
But who are coming in because they want to do their own thing as opposed to the thing that they do every night. You just can't beat that crap. That's awesome.
Right.
It depends on the kind of music you want, and if let's say you're a jazz guy, my tip is simply this: there's music happening all the time here. What you got to do is find a jazz musician that you respect. Let's say you're a trumpet guy. You like jazz. Well, I'm gonna follow Travis, and Travis is doing a gig at this place at the 702 bar or whatever it is. Well, then go. That's where to go because there's live music all the time, but it depends on the vibe. I mean, you can go to one of my favorite places to go for live music is at Paris. They've got I forget the name of the place. It's right by a little bar, and it's this top 40 nonsense. But it's what I think of when I came to Las Vegas as a tourist. It's Cool and the Gang and all that kind of
You're
nonsense.
walking on sunshine.
Yeah, but they're good.
Yeah.
It's 8 or 9 people who are killing it. Hey, you want to go see, if it's Thursday, go downtown and go see Zoe Bowie. They're great.
Right.
They're a lot of fun down at Fremont Street.
I think Ken would endorse that.
But here's what I would say. Do this. If you're a local, get 7 or get Las Vegas Weekly because they have a big list.
Yeah, I miss City Life. I miss the City Life.
They have a huge list at the back that says, here's where every single live gig is.
The old Huntridge was a cool spot.
It's outstanding. Okay. Are there any, Pops wants to know, are there any good music stores in Las Vegas? Brett?
I have no idea. It's a good question.
And the answer is no. There is. There's a couple record stores, like this one on Sahara that I hear is pretty cool. What's the name of it? I don't know. I have Spotify. I don't even. It doesn't resonate for me anymore. But I'm sure there is.
I can tell you one in St. Louis that was the legend. It was Peaches, but that's beside the point. It was awesome. Greatest record store ever. But it was long gone.
Here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I think we passed the hour and 91 minutes.
Damn it! Oh, that's
there you
neat.
are. We're back.
Jesus Christ. TriCaster, I'm starting bidding at $3. All right, have a drink on me. Here's
55 seconds left to go. Golden State 100, Cleveland 92. The NBA title is beckoning.
Have a drink on me. Here's how it works. You guys guess on the bar that we went to, and if you win, well, you're going to win a house.
Sounds good.
Whoops, that's not right. Here's how
a house?
That's all right. If we're going to give you a bar, if you win, you can either get a drink on me, which, by the way, I would show you, but this piece of crap's not working right now. I actually will buy you a drink, or maybe you're all about fashion. Bam! You get that. That's the Vegas Video Network visor. People have killed for more. Oh, you like music? Do you like the happening jazz? Of course you do. And that's why you get Jazzathon. This is a lovely tune. It's called Gin and Tonic. All right. Let's remind ourselves what last week's,
if you can,
Have a Drink on Me was. Yeah, right. No shit.
Just tell him.
It was.
Just tell him.
I'm just so pissed off at this damn thing. It makes me want to. Okay, quiet, Scott. Thank you. All right, here it is. This was last week's Have a Drink on Me. It's very pretty. Reminds me of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang a little bit. The hints were parasol down, parasol down, parasol down.
Oh, I put down parasol up.
So surprisingly, what's funny is that our hints seem more confused the week before. Okay, let's talk about who. Here's what's interesting. This is the first time we ever got 100% right.
Wasn't that 2 weeks ago?
What?
Parasol down.
If that is, oh my God, you son of a bitch. Oh, you know what happened? All right, that's not right. Oh, I got this damn thing. There it is.
There it is.
Our hint was,
Our hint was, don't tell mama.
Don't tell mama.
Don't tell mama.
Don't tell mama. God, it's a good thing you don't have to be smart to run your own company.
Don't tell mama.
Yeah, I'm building on a TriCaster. Okay, here we go. 100% of the people who put in were right. 16 of 16.
Nice.
That's good. Okay, here we go.
Good percentage.
Who's in? Let's see. Is Airport Limbo, Eric Hansen, in the live chat? I think he is. He gets a double.
Did he just win?
By the way, where is he from?
Canada. He's from Canada, our home and native land.
You got David Timon, who's from Washington State. He's not in the live chat. Marie Rogers, who we claimed that we got her a job. In fact, we didn't give her a job, but she's in Las Vegas. Brad from Baton Rouge. Brad has been a long-time player. He has yet to win. And Monica Fagan. Monica, God bless her little heart. She's been working hard, too. She has yet to win. All right. Now we've got Malia, 420. Don't off. Maya says, by the way, I love... Did we put that up there? Yeah, it's Don't Tell Mama. Did we say that yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I love it's known as an LBGT bar, which is lesbian,
Let's go
bi,
back to...
gay, or lesbian, gay, bi, transsexual. It's a bar. And the karaoke piano guy is awesome, so there she is. Rob Cole. Is Rob in?
I don't think so.
He was, this is his first chance to do HADOM. I think Rob might be in.
I haven't seen him.
I mean, I'll just double check.
Unless that's him right there. Cheap Debt, Sure Shot, Rob.
Yeah, Short Shot with Bob.
He is.
Yeah, so he gets a double.
He was hiding in the weeds.
Here you go. Ken.
That's the first time I've seen his name.
Ken A, Mr. Accessibility Vegas. Of course, he's in there. Boom, he gets a double.
Kenny?
Oh, wait, he actually said something, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. Mike Q says, hey, I like... Mike says, I really like the 7 p.m. time change. Thanks, you guys, for really... And then he wrote ... But now I hate Brett.
You liar.
It's a good chance that part of that was fictional.
Yeah.
Hard to say what part.
That's called ad-libbing.
Yeah, it is. Dawn Verdau, who's won before. Dawn, by the way, is a part of the big thing. There's Dawn. Where is she? There she's. It'd be easier if I knew how this thing... There it is.
There she is.
There's Dawn. God bless her little heart. Oh, you suck, you piece of...
There's Dawn again.
Hey, and there we are.
There you go.
Okay. Let me see.
Stop doing that. That's all I can say to you.
All right. Let me just try one more thing real fast here. Stand by. Graphics. Take. Will that work? Of course it does. Stand by.
What are you trying to do now?
Trying to make this thing work.
Trying to prolong the show even longer.
Why not? So Don says, Dear Scott and Brett, I think Brett is pretty.
Thank you.
Weird. Not to be trusted.
Does
Scott.
Does it say weird?
No, that was a...
yes, it did not say weird. Writer's embellishment.
Scott Van Fleet. Scott was in the live chat. Let's see if he still made it. He did.
Yep.
Kid Dakota is
Scotty is here.
He is, and he says he's a fan of the radio shopping show.
Attaboy, Scotty.
Attaboy, Scotty, baby.
He's a Chicago guy.
You can trust
over by there.
You can always trust people named Scott.
I'll be flying to Chicago in the morning. Chicago, over by there.
Brian.
Give me some Portillos, and I'm good to go.
We've got some printed stuff. All right. Brian wants to know, or Brian says, hey, Scott, The name of the bar is Don't Tell Mama. Hey, also back on podcast 215. Oh, I'm knocking shit.
That's a month ago. We can't remember what we did yesterday because Scott keeps pulling Parasol down as our HADOM every week.
I'm blending it.
So 215 might have been 50 years ago in our memory banks.
Quit yelling at me. Okay. Back at 215, there was a mention of people who only have cheese. Only have cheese in their pizza could go fornicate themselves.
That was me.
Tell Brent.
Yeah. Who's this?
NT. Oh, this is Brian.
Okay, Brian.
A.K.A. Dinky in the Pants.
Oh, easy there, Biscuit. I am hungry like a light switch.
I mean, Trinky Pants. That if you're going to put a bunch of toppings on your pizza, stand by for the bleeper. Oh, maybe I'll bleep it this time. Stand by. Wait, hold on. Where's my bleep sound? Okay, ready? Here we go. That was pretty funny. You might as well just go buy a sandwich. Me? No. You. That was Brian. Well done, Brian.
Not talking about a lot of toppings. I'm just saying you have to put something on it other than just cheese. Tomatoes are fine.
Aaron and Alan. Now, Alan, we know, is in the live chat.
So we're adding Alan?
Well, let's actually just make sure he's still there. If he's not, we're dumping him.
No, he's here.
Oh, he's still there. Okay, good. I will read Alan. You will read Aaron, yeah?
Okay.
Alan says, hi, Brett and Scott. Of course, he took your alphabetical bullshit. Damn it. This is 45 cusses. I'll be here until next year editing this damn thing.
The show might never end.
Maybe. Brett and Scott. Hey, okay, the bar for this week's is Don't Tell Mama on Fremont Street. We haven't been there yet, but plan to visit on our next trip in July. We are staying at Downtown Grand, which I'd be fascinated with. Because I'm not really... No, that's not the D.
No, it's not.
No. The D is the D, which is owned by, I believe his name is the Antichrist. And I think we'll try it. I love this.
Harry Reid has a hotel.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. This guy's another douchebag. And we'll try to hit HADOM bars downtown. Hogs and Heifer from episode 208.
Yep.
And Don't Tell Mama from this episode. Hey, that might be a cool thing to do. Plan on hitting all of the HADOM bars on an upcoming trip. Thanks for turning us on to this place. This is the greatest thing ever. You are going to heaven. Alan.
Good man, Alan.
There's a good chance that I might have embellished on part of that as well. Go.
This week's HADOM was way difficult, Aaron says. But I think the clue that gave it away was the fact that the RJ named this joint as a reader's favorite piano bar. A little Googling later, and I think I got the right bar. It's Don't Throw Mama from the Train.
It's... Listen, this is a research thing, people. All you have to do is research. This is not art.
Thanks for the opportunity to do this weekly contest. We are loving it. Keep up the great work on the podcast. It feeds our Vegas obsession.
Right, so you doubled...
That was Erin. I got to put her in there as well.
No. She's not in the live chat.
Oh, she's not chatting.
No. Just Alan.
Alan has been
next up, we've got Greg Fulgham. I think is his name. I don't believe he's in the live chat. Greg says, hey, well, Scott... Even though I'm handicapped, well, he might be in. He's Pops. I think Pops is in. Pops is here.
I just put down.
His name is Greg. Or Gene. Not Greg, for the love of God. It's Gene. Put Gene. You got Gene? Let me see. I don't trust you anymore.
I put Gene. You told me Gene.
Gene. Well, Scott, even though I'm handicapped, I can't drink. I actually think that I got this one. It's Don't Tell Mama Downtown. Your clues led me there, and the picture of the ice, blah, blah, picture, piano, Facebook. Okay. I thought I would never have a chance to win in case you had the game called Name That Salad.
Hey, push a button, because I'm on screen the whole time. There you
see?
go.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
All right. Keep up the great work.
I was admiring myself.
Keep up the great work, Brett.
Thank you.
You keep us laughing while imparting jewels of wisdom, Scott, to those of us that are paying attention. Nobody. The night you went off on Brett for being a Disney-hating commie was a hoot. RQS is a DHC. Real Quick Stories is a Disney-hating commie. If I win, we'll have that drink.
Gino, come on.
And a few laughs.
You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Just my drink won't have any alcohol, damn it. Moving to Vegas soon, Pops. Oh, I thought he was already in Vegas.
That's cool.
There you go. All right, next up, we've got...
Do I get to read any of these? Or no?
Oh, this one. Danny Ackerman.
Danny again. Oh, Danny.
Here's Danny.
Right. Please plug my show. No,
would you say please plug my show?
No, I just...
That would be hysterical.
Don't Tell Mama is the bar. She's correct. The Living in Las Vegas show is a highlight of my week after the awesome Niche to Profit show on Thursdays at 3 p.m. See, there you go. But back to you. First, more about me.
Keep reading it.
I didn't know all I was missing living in this fine, fine city until I found your show. And Scott, if you are reading this, and I hope you are not, between you and me, shh, don't tell Brett. You're the reason the show rocks. But however, Danny says a red visor would rock. Okay. Don't you know it, Danny?
I like Danny. I think she's going far. The fact that she's clearly colorblind doesn't mean anything to me. So Danny's in there. You doubled her up, right?
Danny. I did. I threw Danny right there.
All right, here we go. Let's vote. Let's see what we got.
All right, here we go.
Grabby. I'll shake. Shake your
The Golden State Warriors have won the NBA championship.
Well, thank God for that.
I know you're a big fan of the NBA.
You can tell that those kids were pretty good. They're probably going to win a couple more of those NBA things.
They might, yeah.
The word is that they've got a pretty good team.
They do.
Steph kid.
He can fire from long range. Yes. Curry for three. Yes. And the Warriors.
Okay, here we go.
Win their first time.
If you're in the live chat, you've doubled, or if you're one of the Perrys, you've tripled your chances of winning.
Marv Albert impersonation.
Let's see.
Yes. Scratch my back again. Oh, bite me.
Here it is. Here it is. The winner is...
I know the answer, but don't tell Mama. Ken A.
Oh, my God. It's finally happened.
It's Kenny.
Who has taken over all things that are all things. Welcome, Ken. Guess what
Kenny
is Ken?
Won.
What? Okay. What does Ken win?
Chlamydia.
Go.
Ken wins stuff. He could have a drink with Scott. But who wants to do that? He could have this visor that comes in every color in the rainbow as long as you like black. He could also have Gajazathon. He could have a Kusma Christmas crackers.
You fucked this up one more time and you're
I'm not trying to. What's the other one? Christmas Acoustic Jazzathon.
And Christmas Acoustic.
And Christmas Acoustic too.
Right, that's it. You're fired.
All that, yes.
Enough of that. Oh, my God.
Do they get to pick the bar they're having a drink with you at? Or do they have to go to the winning bar, which would be even better? That would be kind of cool.
I think we should do that because I don't want somebody to go, we'll go to Mandarin Oriental and we're going to have the $405.
You should go to the bar you won.
That's it. That's the new rule.
You got to dress as a drag queen. You're going to Don't Tell Mama.
Don't Tell Mama. and they said that there was no Santa Claus anymore. And that, my friends, is a complete and utter lie.
Hey, before you push a button, what's next week's HADOM?
Fuck, that was... why do I still want to get out
I feel like it's my only thing I have left in life to do is remind Scott every week
that I keep fucking that up.
Scott, we've got a new one for next week.
48 cuss words in this song. You know what? Song. We're not going to put this on your show.
Okay.
On their radio.
We'll take the week off. I'm out of town anyway.
I can't do 48 edits. That's crazy. All right, 419. Where is it? Oh, I had so much problem with this. Oh, there it is right there. Okay. Now, there it is. There's our this week's HADOM.
Plus, we're at 2 hours anyway, so there's no way.
Awesome. All right. We're going to skip listener email. We're going to be done after this.
Okay.
All right. So this is our this week's HADOM. This actually came to me because of one of our viewers. I'll call her Danny. I thought she went to this place. She tested me on this place. And guess what?
Right.
I was wrong.
Okay.
But I like my place better, so we're taking this place now. Here is our 3 hints for where you're at. Hint number 1. It is home to Nevada's first certified beer cicerone, which is the equivalent of a wine sommelier. So this is a beer person who says, you're having some fish. Oh, you should mix it with a bleedy blah, blah, blah.
It's light on the barley and heavy on the hops. It would go well with your fried chicken tenders.
The first beer guy was at this place. Number 2, the casino, this is in a casino, there's a hint, is owned by one of our Hall of Fame subjects. We've talked about him before. If you're a political monster, you would avoid him like the plague. Number 3, there is more than one of these places in Las Vegas. The name. I'm not sure it looks the same, but the same exact name is in more than one place. Okay, and number 4, after you left this place, you could go see Blue Man Group, but now you have to be okay with aged rock. Or you could cheat and tell them that as well. You may be saying to yourself, wait a minute, how do I play? And you'd be like, okay, well, here's how you play. You send an email to, where is it in my graphics? Because my
have a drink
broke
at livinginlv.com. That's have a drink at livinginlv. Oh, no, it's right. VegasVideoNetwork.com.
Have a drink at VegasVideoNetwork.com. That's what you're going to send your idea, your guesses to.
You couldn't do the listener email at VegasVideoNetwork. You got them all mixed up.
It's killing me, man.
Sorry.
You're killing me, Smalls. I'm going to actually take a gun to this piece of shit after I'm done.
That's number 49.
I'm so angry. Yep, it is 49. Okay.
Good night, Tuck.
That is it. We're done for the big evening.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
All right.
2 hours of just technical bliss.
God damn. Maybe.
Ready? Firing squad.
All right.
TriCaster.
So if you want... Hey, if you want to check us out on the big show, or you want to tell people how great we are, and who wouldn't, giving how flawless this show went, then you're going to go to iTunes. By the way, if you're watching this on the iTunes, give us a 5-star review. I don't care if it's an audio or video. Give us a 5-star review. On YouTube, share it. Give us a thumbs up. Tell people. Put it on your Facebook page. Be proud that you're part of us. Hey, on KSHP, shit, we haven't been on KHP for years because we cuss so damn much.
It's not worth it.
We can't. It's hard work. Roku, over 31,000 people have downloaded our app. We're on Stitcher, we're on TuneIn, we're on Chrome and Apple and Google TV, Vegas Video Network, Facebook and Twitter. I'm Scott Whitney. This cat over here, we call him Brett. He's the prettiest man you'll ever meet.
Oh, yeah, don't flatter me. Flatter me.
In a, like
shower me with
kind of
love.
All right, we're done. We're about 2 hours.
Mwah.
God bless America. Hopefully, if I push this button, something will play. There's a good chance it won't, but that doesn't matter. If you hear a gunshot,
I got you at 4-1.
If you got a gunshot sound, that's not actually a sound.
4-1.
It's me shooting myself. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Go.
That was the wrong button.
Time for listener email.
That was just funny right there. Goodbye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
You suck. Unbelievable. Don't talk. I just want to cry. You little bitch. There you go.
Cry.
That was like running the marathon, man.